forward then. Yeah, tell me when you're ready to go.
Okay, it's going.
Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland. Here I am on Kossuth Square in Budapest, as in the square is named after Kossuth Lajos, as they call him in Magyar, who was one of the most prominent 19th century nationalist revolutionaries, led the failed revolution of 1848. He was dissatisfied with Ausgleich, the compromise of 1867. He lived out his life in exile in Italy, dying in 1896. He saw Italy as being a potential future foe of Austria because the dispute about the ethnic Italian minority who lived in the southern part of Austria, and the Italian desire to get back some of the Adriatic coast. But anyway, so behind me is the Hungarian Parliament building, and construction was begun after 1873. That's when this city of Budapest was incorporated. Pest, here on the eastern bank of the Danube, was united with Buda on the western bank, and indeed Óbuda. So you can see it's somewhat inspired by Pugin's Parliament, as in the reconstruction of the British Parliament after the 1834 fire. Pugin and Sir Charles Barrow, the architects. And so you can see the coats of arms of many counties of Hungary, historic Hungary, as in well beyond the frontiers of the modern Republic of Hungary. It's got like a checkered symbol, red and white, indicating a bit of Croatia. You can see the tricolour of Hungary. This blue flag with a crescent moon and the 9-pointed star. I'm not quite sure what that is. Excuse my ignorance, perhaps it's the city of Budapest. Anyway, so the scene of many famous chapters in Hungarian history, and it's got some fantastic relief sculptures. You can see the sandstone has been cleaned up in recent years. When I first came here, it was faintly grimy. Then they've built some gargoyles onto it. Often they're you know, drain pipes. Because by the late 19th century, of course, people didn't believe they needed gargoyles to frighten off evil spirits, but it was just neo-medievalism, which was very much en vogue at the time. Anyway, if we turn a little bit on the square, you can see a statue of Rákóczi, a Hungarian leader of the past. It's got Latin inscriptions on either side, one of them saying, "With God for fatherland and liberty." This was a scene of massive protest in 1956, that October, the Hungarian Revolution, when the communist Stalinist government was overthrown. Nagy Imre, a reforming communist, became prime minister. He was quickly brought to grief by the Soviet army on the orders of Khrushchev, and Nagy was taken to Romania, perhaps surprisingly, imprisoned in Snagov, which is north of Bucharest, and secretly hanged. His remains were returned decades later to be reburied with great pomp and honour. And behind me you can see this enormous flagpole. Unfortunately, the ventilation is not having the banner billow out as it ought to do, but it's got a hole cut in the middle. No, it's not a poncho, it's because after the Second World War, the Red Army was here, and they shoehorned Hungarian communists into office. Normally it was a multi-party democracy, but communists did what they would with elections, and pretty soon it was a one-party state. So it was totalitarian, as in there was a total identification of party with state, and there were communist emblems on the central horizontal bar of the flag. The revolutionaries in 1956, they cut out that communist symbol. Hence, if it billows out, you'd see that there's a big hole in the middle of the flag, just like the Romanians did in their 1989 revolution. And there are two soldiers at the base wearing their dress uniform. All right, so it's right beside the River Danube, and what a fabulous edifice it is. It's like an architect's fantasia. There are tours of it, so I do hope to go inside. That's all for the moment.